Okay, അപ്പം നമ്മൾ മൊഡ്യൂൾ 6 എന്നുള്ള കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Okay. Next, I'm just revising the 6th module and also the 5th module. Okay. So, this is the 6th module. In the 6th module, mainly we want to study natural language processing. Okay. So, just I'm revising the things. Okay, in a very fast way. So, what is natural language understanding problem? Why it is difficult? Okay. So, why the natural language understanding problem is difficult? Okay. These are the because of these issues, natural language understanding problem is considered as a difficult problem. It is a complex AI problem area. Next, while writing a natural language understanding program, we should consider the below issues. Which are the issues? While writing or while implementing a natural language understanding program, we should consider below things. First is we should represent the knowledge and expectation of the domain and reason effectively about them. We should consider issues such as monotonicity, belief revision, metaphor, planning, learning, practical commerce. So, these are the issues we need to consider while implementing a natural language program. So, okay, Ashwati join आया. Okay, give your attendance. Ashwati എന്ത് ആരും ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ജോയിൻ ആവാത്തത്? 9 o'clock ആയില്ലേ? Ashwati. എല്ലാവരും പെട്ടെന്ന് ജോയിൻ ആവാൻ പറയട്ടോ. ഓക്കെ, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ക്ലാസ് പോർഷൻ തീർന്നു വെച്ചിട്ട് 16 വരെ ആയിട്ടും ക്ലാസ് ഉണ്ടാവും, അറ്റൻഡൻസും ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവും. അതുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാവരും ജോയിൻ ആവാൻ പറയണം. So these are the issues we want to consider while implementing a natural language program. So, monotonicity, belief revision. Just to go through it. Okay, it's a descriptive topic, so you just go through the notes. Okay. Okay. Next is deconstructing language. This is important. Okay. Usually in the exams, such type of questions will come. Okay. Please note your exam will be after 2 weeks. So please study these topics well. Deconstructing language. Okay. So different high-level analysis of natural language understanding is the deconstructing language. So it's important. Deconstructing language. Okay. Deconstructing language. Deconstructing language. Okay. So this is an important topic. Okay. Deconstructing language. So language is a complicated phenomenon involving process such as recognition of sounds or printed letters, syntactic parsing, high-level semantic inference, then communication of emotional content through rhythm and inflection. Okay. Because of this, it is a complicated process. Understanding a problem, understanding a natural language is a difficult problem. To solve this, various levels of analysis is introduced. Okay. To manage this complexity, linguistics have described different levels of analysis for a natural language. One is called prosody. What is by prosody? It deals with the rhythm. Okay, it deals with the rhythm. Okay, rhythm or intonation of the language. Okay. So just I'm going to the concepts only. What is prosody? It is about rhythm and why it is important, etc. Okay. So please study that. Next is phonology. What is phonology? It deals with the sounds that are combined to form a language. Phonology. Sounds that are combined to form a language. Okay, so that is about the phonology. And the next is morphology. What is morphology? Morphology is concerned with the components that make up the sound. For example, mm, effect of prefixes. Okay, effect of prefixes. Okay, for example, anti, unknown, etc. And suffixes. Okay, that modify the meaning of the root word. Okay? So, this is about the morphology. It's concerned with the components that make up the words. Okay. 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 Please just to go through it. And next is syntax. You already know what is syntax analysis. In this module, we studied probabilistic context-free grammar and lexicographic context-free grammar. Okay. So, what is syntax means? It deals with the syntax of the sentence. Okay. Every language has its own syntax. Okay. Now, how to deal syntax? This type of analysis, syntax analysis. So next is semantic. So what is semantic? It always concerned with the meaning of a sentence. Okay, meaning of words, phrases, and sentences. This type of analysis will be the semantic analysis. Then pragmatic. What is meant by pragmatic? It is the study of in which language is used and effect of the listener. For example, you can note here pragmatics. Okay, it is the study of ways in which it is the study of ways in which. Okay, please give your attendance in the chat box. Okay, starting from Abhilash. Hello, Abhilash. Okay, please give your attendance. Ashwadi, okay ആണോ? കളിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? Ashwadi. Ashwadi.
Sir, okay ആണ് കേക്കാം.
എത്ര പേര് ജോയിൻ ആയി? കുറെ പേര് ജോയിൻ ആവാനുണ്ടല്ലോ. ഓക്കെ, നെറ്റ് കുറച്ച് സ്ലോ ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, കട്ടായിട്ടൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ കണക്ഷൻ?
ഇല്ല സർ, കട്ടായിട്ടില്ല.
കണക്ഷൻ കട്ടായിനോ അശ്വതി?
സർ കട്ടില്ല.
ഹലോ, so what is pragmatics? Okay, it is the study of ways in which language is used. That is important. Ways in which language is used. I am underlining this. എന്താ ശരി? ഓക്കെ, പ്രശ്നമൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ. Okay, just to go through the important topics. Okay, pragmatics. It is the study of ways in which the language is used and its effect on the listener. Hmm? Okay, so that is about the pragmatics. So, just to go through the examples. For example, here today's first day, today's Sunday, etc., etc. So the intent of the speaker is making a suggestion. Okay. So it is the study. It's also the study of intent of the intended meaning of speaker. Intended meaning of speaker. Okay. So that is about the pragmatics. Then world knowledge. So what is world knowledge? Uh, It includes knowledge of physical world, the world of human social interaction, and all of the goals and intentions in communication. Anyway, this is about this topic, deconstructing a language. Okay, deconstructing language. Hmm? It's very important in the exams. So it's a descriptive topic. Okay. So please study this topic. Next is translation of. Next topic is translation of original sentence into an internal representation of its meaning. This is also important. Okay. So in this we will study how can convert an original sentence into its internal representation. Okay. Into an internal representation of its meaning. So the first step is parsing. Okay. First step is parsing. So which analyzes the syntax structure and create a syntax tree. So next second is semantic interpretation. Next is semantic interpretation. Okay. So which produces a representation of meaning of the text. So it will create a this step. Okay, not here. That is a sentence is converted into its conceptual graph or a semantic network, frames, etc., etc. So uh, this is about the semantic interpretation. The sentence we are analyzing or text we are analyzing is converted into its internal representation, conceptual dependency, conceptual graph or frames, semantic network, etc. So this is about the semantic interpretation. So you can note here, this is the parse tree, then this is the internal representation. Given sentence or text is converted into this internal representation. This is also called the local representation. Okay, this is actually the local representation. Local representation. Okay, please note this concept. Local representation. Okay, local representation. Okay. Then the next phase is this local representation is given to the next phase, which is contextual or world knowledge interpretation. In that phase, we will add some more world knowledge to this local representation, and it is called expanded representation. Okay, expanded representation. That is, we will add world knowledge to this local representation. Okay. So world knowledge is essential to understand the sentence. That is this step. Okay. That is called the expanded representation. Okay. Expanded representation. Hmm? So this is about the topic. Then these are the three topics. Here what is the third stage? This expanded representation is created. Just to go through these notes. So Another is syntax. Syntax. So, what is syntax? We know. We can represent the syntax rules using or define the structure using two methods. One is using context-free grammar. Okay, using context-free grammar. Uh, in that we studied probabilistic context-free grammar and lexicographic context-free grammar. And another is using dynamic programming concept. Okay, that uses memoization concept. Okay, memoization. That is, intermediate results are stored and used in the future. Using that type of concept, we can parse a sentence. So there are two methods of parsing or syntax analysis. There are two methods of parsing or syntax analysis. One is using context-free grammar and another is using dynamic programming concept. Okay. So using context-free grammar, how it is possible? Already discussed. This is the concept. That is, using this grammar, what we will do? We will part the sentence in both top to bottom or bottom to top and create a parse tree. So this is very important topic. Which are the different type of parsers? Okay, it's very important topic. Please note it. Okay, which are the different types of parsers? Okay, one is purely based on our context-free grammar. Okay, that is top down and bottom up parser. Okay, this already studied in the compiler design and TOC also studied. A grammar is given, you want to derive a string and represent in the form of a tree. Okay, so this is already studied. So we should study this concept well. Okay. First concept is using context-free grammar, top down and bottom up parse. Second approach is called the early parse. This is also very important. What is meant by early parser? Early parser is a parser which uses dynamic programming approach. That is, what is dynamic programming approach means? When addressing a complex problem that can be broken down into multiple subproblems, save partial solutions. This is important. Save partial solutions as they are generated so that they can be reused later in the solution process of full problem. This save and reuse of partial solutions is called memoization. This is also important. Sometimes in the exam they may ask, what is memoization? Okay, for 2 marks. Okay, so try to study this topic. Okay, memoization. Then early parser is a parser which uses the concept of memoization. Okay, so to implement memoization, we will use a data structure chart. Okay, chart. To implement memoization, we will use chart in early parser. Okay. In early parser uses chart data structure to implement memoization. Okay, so this type of parsing also called chart parsing. Okay, then how can generate this chart? It is the use of dotted grammar symbol. Through the use of dotted grammar symbol, through the use of dotted grammar symbols, we can generate a chart. Okay. So there are 3 types of grammar symbols. One is, these are the 3 types. So one is the initial prediction. So dot will come here. Then in the partial parse, dot will come here. In the completed parse, dot will come here. Okay. So these are the 3 types of dotted grammar symbol. Okay, dotted rules. Okay, please note it. Dotted rules. Okay, dotted rules. Okay, dotted rules. So next is we discussed this algorithm. Okay, this algorithm is very important in the exams. So I'm doing a university exam revision. So please study this topic. All topics I'm discussing. So this is the algorithm for parsing, chart parsing. So what we want to do? Initialize state as 0. Initialize the state as and add to it the state list or chart. We will add that initial state to chart. Then what we will do is that we will enter a for loop. In that we will take each state. Then if the state state is based, we will take each state. State contains different grammars, dotted grammars. Then we will start to analyze each grammar rule. If there is a dotted grammar of the form dot a, then we will do these things. Okay, we will do these things. Then we will check if a is not a part of speech, then expand the state using predictor. If a is a part of speech, then perform scanner and so on. Okay. Else, if both are not, then completer. So there are predictor, scanner, and completer. There are three functions to perform this chart parsing. So please just refer the videos already I discussed. Okay, predictor, completer, scanner. This is very important. Sometimes in the university exam, questions will be like this: explain early parsing algorithm. Okay, explain early parsing algorithm. Okay, so this is very important. Next is we are discussing this example. Okay, this example also very important. Sometimes you are given with the grammar, then also a sentence will be given to you. What you want to do is that you want to apply early parsing algorithm and try to generate the sentence. Okay, so this is the example we already discussed. Please just go through it. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, very important. Okay. So this is a problem part. I think this is one of the problems asked in the previous university exam. Okay, so please study this topic. Next, then we studied stochastic tools for language understanding. Okay, stochastic tools. So this is also important. Previously asked which are the different types of stochastic analysis. So the basic concept is we will consider NLP, natural language understanding problem, as a random process. If we consider it is a random process, we can use mathematical. We can analyze it using mathematically. So, which are the different mathematical analysis approach? Markov model approach, decision tree approach, probabilistic approach. There are three statistical approaches can be applied on it. Okay, if we can view the problem as a random process, then we can apply mathematical analysis. Based on that, there are three approaches. One is Markov model, decision tree, probabilistic approach. Okay, so please note it. Probabilistic approach is again divided into probabilistic quantitative grammar, probabilistic lexical, as the CFG. Okay. So first is Markov model approach. What is Markov model approach? So these are very important. So explain, you can note here one question. Explain how can formulate part of speech problem using Markov model approach. Okay, part of speech problem. POS is the full form. In the previous university exam, they asked this question. Uh, this is the question. I think this was the question. That is, uh, explain POS tagging problem. Okay, explain POS tagging. So, POS means part of speech problem. Okay, part of speech. But no one returned the answer because uh, they don't know what is POS. What is the full form of POS? POS means a part of speech problem. Okay, so that type of question you can expect. So, what is part of speech problem means, for example, a sentence is given. Art is like that. Let's see to see the truth. Okay. So, basic concept is what is POS means. Art is a noun. That is considered as a verb. A is an article. Lie is a noun. That is a pronoun. So, C is a verb. That is, if a sentence is given, we should map each word in that sentence to a part of speech. Okay, that is POS tagging. Okay, so this is part of speech problem. We can use this part of speech problem using which approach? Markov model approach. So for that, what we will do, we define a set of words in our language. W, SW, SW contain variables W1, W2, etc. Wn. Okay. ST contain T1, different tags T1, T2, etc. Tn. Then what we will do is that we will try to find out the probability of this. Okay, this is the general equation for calculating the probability. Its meaning is, given the words in this order. Okay, given the words in this order, then what is the probability of the tags coming in this sequence? Okay, okay, please try to understand the meaning. Given the words in this order, W1, W2, W3, etc., Wn. Okay. Then, what is the probability of the sequence coming? Tags coming in this sequence, T1, T2, etc., Tn. Then we want to take the maximum value among them. This is the problem. Okay. So that is, maximize the probability of finding a sequence of tags T1, T2, T3, etc. Tn given a sentence which consists of words in the sequence W1, W2, W3, Wn, etc. Okay, that is, we will formulate the problem in this way. Okay, now how can solve this equation using the Markov model concept? We can solve this equation. This is the equation for solving it. Please study it. This is Markov model approach. So basically, the problem is it will be somewhat complicated. Okay, if the number of tags increases, the complexity will increase. So there are three problems: 1, 2, 3. To solve these problems, we will use first order Markov model. Okay, first order Markov first order model. Okay, using the Markov first order model, these three problems, disadvantage associated with this, can be solved. Okay. So this is very important. What is Markov model? What are the disadvantages of Markov model? What is first order Markov model? What is the advantage of first order Markov model? That type of questions you can expect. Also, this type of question: how can formulate POS using Markov model? Explain with an example. Okay. So please study this topic well. Next, we studied decision tree approach. This will be a 3-mark question. Okay, you already know what is decision tree. That is, we will divide the training set into based on the information gain. Okay, based on a measure, we will divide the training set and we will create a tree. Okay, that is called a decision tree. Here, in this case, mutual information clustering is used as a measure to divide. Okay. In the S7, you studied which are the information information gain, entropy, etc. are the measures used. Here, what you will do, you should use mutual information clustering information for dividing the training and set and forming a decision tree. Okay. So this is the equation. Please study this equation. This is a 3-mark question. Okay. So next is probabilistic approach to parsing. So which are the approaches? Probabilistic context-free grammar. Probabilistic context-free grammar. Example is this. This is the example. Okay. This is probabilistic context-free grammar example. Concept is very simple. What we will do? There is a set of CFG, context-free grammar. We will attach a probability term to each grammar rule. So if you consider this case 1, you can note here sentence derives, noun phrase, verb phrase. So what we will do, P of S equal to P of R1. What is P of R1? What is P of R1? P of R1 is probability of rule 1 appearing. This is rule 1 into probability of NP. What is NP? This is NP. Noun phrase. This is verb phrase, VP. Probability of NP into probability of VP. In this way, we will do this. That is PCFG. Okay, this is example. And next is probabilistic lexicalized context-free grammar. Okay, please note this is probabilistic lexicalized context-free grammar example. Okay, CFG example. CFG example. So in that similar procedure, but in addition, what we will do, an additional terms comes here. Okay, please note an additional term comes here. Okay. Anyway, you just refer the videos, okay, for getting an idea about what is PCLX. Okay, this is very important topic. Explain different probabilistic approach to parsing. Okay. So next, we discussed expert system and its advantages, its issues, etc., etc. Then we discussed NLP, applications of NLP. Okay, so all topics are important, direct questions. There will be some problem sections. Please study that problem section. All other topics are descriptive, so please study all topics. Okay. Okay. Okay, please give your attendance. Abhilash. Okay, next, Abhinav. Okay, next, Ansab. Attendance പറഞ്ഞവർ ലെഫ്റ്റ് അയക്കാം. Ansab, Anusri. Ansab absent ആണോ? Anusri. Okay, Ansab absent ഉണ്ട്. Anusri. Okay, Arjun, SNP. Okay, then Adul Dinesh, Adul Sativar. Okay, Fabina, Fajr. Okay, Fajr present ആണോ? Okay, Fajr absent ഇടുന്നുണ്ട്. Jasim Harris, Ramesh absent ആണോ? Okay, next, Muhammad Jasim. Okay, Mithila. Okay, next, Sharath. Next, Sharath, Sarva, Shabda, Sriraj, Saurabh, Subinraj, Vishnu, Sriraj, Saurabh, Subinraj, Vishnu. Saurabh and Subinraj. Okay, Saurabh, Subinraj absent now. Namrata, Ashwati, Didina, Harita. Okay. Okay, absent is Saurabh, Subinraj. Then Ramesh. Okay, thank you.